WiseGuyBets here with some DFS fantasy picks for today, 6/16/2021. We're looking at the DraftKings main slate. We have 8 games on the slate. Starts at 7:07 Eastern Time. Let's get right into it and look at the pitcher position. We're going to look at Keegan Aiken from Baltimore at the pitcher position. His projection for tonight is 17.1. His ERA on the season is 4.13. He's pitched about an average of 3.4 innings per game. His last 3 games, he's pitched 5, 5, and 4 innings. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 7 games. In his last 3 games, 12, 17, and 2. Salary 5,900. Over under 7.5 for his projection. His last start against Cleveland, he had 17. His last 5, 7, 7, 12, 17, 2. I think some of these may have been these numbers may be on relief when he came in for relief. I like Mr. Aiken in this position tonight, and I definitely love his salary, but I would be careful and only use Mr. Aiken in a tournament format where you are using multiple lineups. I'm not sure if I would have him as your primary pitcher, but his projection of 17.1 is still pretty good for an 8-game slate. That's one of the I think that's 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th highest projection for tonight. Salary 5,900, and he has a very favorable matchup against Cleveland. He is on the road, but the matchup still looks good for him. He is someone I want to get into some of my lineups tonight. And again, I would probably only use him in a GPP, which is tournament situation. Let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, I'm looking at JT Realmuto from Philadelphia. His projection for tonight is 8.4. He's batting 287 on the season. He's getting about 3.2 at-bats per game. In his last 3 games, he's gotten 4 at-bats for each game. His fantasy points the last 3 games have been 12, 3, and 2. He is 4 for 15 against his pitcher, batting 267, 22 singles, 1 double, 1 home run. I think his outlook looks good tonight for him. His last 5 against the Dodgers has been 2-0, 5, 3, and 2, but I do like his spot tonight, and JT is someone I want to get into my lineups at the catcher position tonight. Let's look at first base. First base, we're looking at DJ LeMahieu for New York Yankees. His projection for tonight is 9.3. He's batting 265 on the season. He's getting 4 at-bats per game. His last 3 games, he's gotten 5, 4, and 4. Averaging 7 fantasy points over 62 games. His last 3 has been 23, 6, and 12. He's a leadoff hitter. His salary is $4,200 on DraftKings. He's batting 7 for 19 against his pitcher. He's batting 368, 7 singles. I like that. He may get on base a few times. Against Toronto, his last 5 is 5-0, 12, 2, and 12. So he has a pretty favorable matchup tonight, even though he's on the road. Mr. LeMahieu for New York Yankees is someone I want to get into my lineups tonight at first base position. Let's look at second base. At second base, I'm looking at Jose Altuve for Houston against Texas. They're at home. He's leading off. I like this over-under projection of 9. He's expensive. He's 5,600, but I think he's one of the better choices tonight. His projection is 8.6 fantasy points. He's batting 290 on the year. He's getting 4.2 at-bats per game. That is great. His last 3, 4, 5, and 5. I can see him getting 5 at-bats again tonight. His last 3 is 0, 9, 23. He had 23 fantasy points yesterday against Texas. May not see that 23, but I definitely think we can get up in double digits between 14 and 17 fantasy points tonight for Mr. Altuve. So Mr. Altuve is somebody I want to get into my lineups at second base tonight. Let's look at the third base position. We're looking at Justin Turner. I think I had selected Justin Turner a couple of days ago or yesterday, and either one of those days, if I did select him, he didn't come through on those days. But here's a situation where I do like his lineup again. They're at home. He's projected to get 8.2 fantasy points per game, for this game. He's batting .277. His last 3 games that he's gotten 4, 3, and 4 at bats. His last 3 fantasy point games are 8, 0, and 3. Not good, but if it's a position where he's going to break out, he's going to break out with this pitcher where he's batting .500 against. He has 4 hits and 8 at bats against this pitcher, 3 singles, 1 home run. As I say, his last 5 against Philly hasn't been that great. 219, 803. But I like him tonight. I have to go with the number tonight. He's batting .500 against this pitcher. Either Wheeler's going to pitch to him and get the ball, hit very hard, or he's going to pitch around him and put him on base where he gives us also chances to score fantasy points. So Mr. Turner is someone I want to look at tonight at third base. Let's look at the shortstop position. We're looking at Carlos Correa for Houston. Again, I like the over-under point total in this game of 9. He's 4,800. He's 4 for 9 against the Texas pitcher, 4 singles and 9 at bats. His projection for tonight is 7. He has 12 homers on the season. He's batting .293. He's getting about 3.9 at bats. His last 3, he's gotten 4, 5, and 3 at bats. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, 0, 19, and 19. So he's coming off of 19, 2 consecutive games of 19. I see that continuing tonight. Maybe not 19, but I do see between 12 to 16 points of fantasy production from Mr. Carrera tonight. So Carlos is someone we definitely want to try to get into our lineups tonight at the shortstop position. In the outfield, going to take a little value, and we're going to go with Michael Brantley, also from this Houston game. Texas is a bad team, by the way, and they're not facing a good pitcher tonight. So just want to be aware of that. Maybe a sneaky stack for you. And the stack may not be so sneaky. Everybody may try to use the Houston stack. So maybe you should search and look for other stacks that everybody's not trying to use. The projection for Mr. Brantley tonight is 8.5 fantasy points. He has 3 homers on the season. He's batting .340. He's getting 4.1 at bats per game. That's excellent. His last 3 games, he's gotten 2, 5, and 4. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, 4, 30, and 8. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 47 games this season. His salary is $3,900. And he's, like I said, he's 3 for 12 against this pitcher, batting .250, 3 singles that he has. He's batting second in the lineup. So what you're hoping for is you can get on base a few times, score a few runs, and get as many fantasy points as possible. Against Texas, he has 5, 8, 7, 5, and 8 in his last 5 games against Texas. I like his position tonight. I think his position is one of the best options tonight. So Mr. Brantley is someone I definitely want to get into my lineup tonight in the outfield. As usual, I'm using Dashboard to get a quick analysis of players. It's helped me out a lot recently and also in the past. It's a tool that gives us a quick analysis of players so we can go search more into the player later on. But it definitely does help you get off on the right foot. If my videos help you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you know when new videos are posted. I try to post videos most days of the week. And to the next video, peace.